Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel One Television, and I am Nanatufo Boateng. It's Thursday, the 15th day of the month of May in the year of our Lord 2025, and it's an absolute pleasure to be here with you. If I tell you that I am not rich enough to buy cheap, would you understand me? I am not rich enough to buy cheap. Now think about it. Okay, you go buying the cheap product. Within a few weeks or months, if like depending on what product it is, it gets spoiled. Now you'd have to replace it. You'd have to buy another one, and that is you spending extra. All right. So I am not rich enough to buy cheap. The more you buy the cheap products, the more you need to find more money to replace them, and it cuts across even within the services sector. That I know a guy who can do it cheaper tag. Think about it. You have an event, you're looking for somebody to do or fix the lighting for you. And then there are professionals. You don't want to go for the professionals. You want to cut corners and go for a cheaper somebody out there. Someone comes to you and says, oh, I know a guy. Oh, I know a guy. I know this guy. I have this guy. And then they come and then they put in the substandard work. One, it does not meet your taste. Two, the quality is compromised. Three, it poses a danger to you. Four, you're going to spend more in the event of a challenge. Okay, so when I say I am not rich enough to buy cheap, this is what I mean. If you go in for the cheaper or the substandard products, you're going to have to spend more within a shorter period to replace or to service. But if you go for a professional service, if you go for a quality product, then it has a longer lifespan, and then you are getting the quality that you deserve, and it is matching whatever taste it is that you have. So just think about it. I am not rich enough to buy cheap. Food for thought this morning. My name is Nanatufo Boateng. The show is Breakfast Daily. The station is Channel One TV. And it's time to get into the newspapers. But before we do that, in the month of June, we are bringing together farmers, okay? Livestock rearers, poultry farmers. All of them were bringing farm products together at one venue, the Afua Sutherland Children's Park here in Accra, for the Agri Fair. This is the biggest exhibition and sale of fresh farm produce, okay? So whatever it is that you're looking for, you can find it there at the Afua Sutherland Children's Park. It's from the weekend of the 20th of June, the 21st, and the 22nd. So 3 days continuous, we are exhibiting fresh farm produce, all right? So farmers are exhibiting their produce and selling same to you, and you, the consumer or the customer, you have an opportunity to buy fresh from the farm. But yes, of course, the convergent point will be the Afua Sutherland Children's Park here in Accra. We're spanning fisheries, aquaculture, main farming, and of course, you name it, all the byproducts. We're actually establishing an entire value chain within the agri-business or the agri sector right here in Accra. We are assembling all the farmers, all the producers, and of course, you, the consumer, so that you can have a variety to choose from. It promises to be exciting, absolutely wonderful, because we have farmers in this country who are doing amazingly well, and of course, we need to celebrate them as well. So come and join us at the Afua Sutherland Park, Children's Park, from the 20th to the 22nd of June, from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day. Now, here is the catch. If you want to participate, you need to call and register early. Okay, we're encouraging you to register early, because the slots are fast running out. Okay, the number is 0205-973-973, 0205-973-973. Call us and register now. It's important that you do so now so that you are able to secure a slot at the Agri Fair 2025, which is happening at the Afua Sutherland Children's Park. from the 20th to the 22nd of June. Okay. Want to say thank you to all who have supported us to put this together. The AgriFair, of course, is powered by Channel One TV with support from 97.3 City FM and sponsored proudly by the Ghana Exim Bank, Legacy Crop Improvement Center, and Development Bank Ghana. Okay, it's proudly sponsored by the Ghana Exim Bank, Legacy Crop Improvement Center, and Development Bank Ghana. Let us meet on the weekend of June 20 to June 22nd at the Fuwa Sutherland Children's Park, and let's appreciate the work of our gallant farmers and, of course, the wonderful produce that they have to exhibit fresh from the farm. So your tomatoes, your onions, your yam, from tubers to legumes to veggies, just name them. And of course, you're going to have your poultry products as well as your livestock products. And for those who have itchy taste buds like I do, there's going to be some chichinga on the side. You understand? So yeah, join us. We'll enjoy some grills also there. Hopefully, I might throw on an apron and prepare some abomu and ampesi for you to enjoy. All right. So let's see you at the AgriFair 2025, powered by Channel One Television, with support from 97.3 City FM, and proudly sponsored by the Ghana Exim Bank, the Legacy Crop Improvement Center, and the Development Bank Ghana. All right. We'll see you. Now let's get into our business for the day. Let's start off with the newspapers and see what's happening in there. The Ghanaian Times this morning says access to medical care, no protocol. GHS Director General declares. It comes with a picture of the DG of the Ghana Health Service, Professor Samuel Kaba Akoria, and he says no protocol for access to medical care. All right. President pardons Sammy Gyamfi. President pardons Sammy Gyamfi. This one says leverage SML Ghana platform to increase revenue. Professor Boateng urges a government. And then when you go to the back page, quite a disturbing one. It says Zamstek in dire need of furniture and infrastructure. That's the Zamset Senior High Technical School in Bolgatanga, in dire need of furniture and infrastructure. A senior high technical school, and you should see the pictures. Students sitting on the bare floor to study, some hanging on the edges of the walls of the school block. Quite disturbing. And so the powers that be, the ministry, the Ghana Education Service, please, if this has come to your attention, we need you to expedite action on the Zamstek Senior High Technical School, Zamstek Senior High Technical School in Bolgatanga. Please attend to it and let's bring some level of relief for the students and teachers in that school. Let me take you to the Chronicle newspaper. Major story, Sammy Gyamfi off the hook. President accepts his public apology. Sammy Gyamfi off the hook. President accepts his public apology. Ashanti police declare war on criminals. Ashanti police declare war on criminals. And then you have Mahama's baptism of fire as GPRTU, other unions threaten to strike on Monday. Mahama's baptism of fire as GPRTU and other unions threaten to strike on Monday. Ken's bodyguard donates incubator to Afiang Kwanta Hospital. Ken's bodyguard donates incubator to Afiang Kwanta Hospital. Then you have the scripture of the day from the book of Psalm, the chapter number 51, the verse number 1. Have mercy on me, O God, according to your steadfast love, according to your abundant mercy. Blot out my transgressions. Psalm 51, verse 1. Have mercy on me, O God, according to your steadfast love, according to your abundant mercy. Blot out my transgressions. That's the Chronicle newspaper. Back page, a host of sports stories. We have some stories from the La Liga. We know that the decider could be today as the league leaders, Barcelona, will face the local rivals, Espanyol. If Barcelona is able to triumph over Espanyol, then they are scoring a domestic treble winning the Copa del Rey, and then, of course, picking up the La Liga as well as a third trophy. All right. So, yeah, be on the lookout for these games and more. Bilbao will face Getafe. Atletico Madrid will face Osasuna. And then, of course, Real Betis will be playing against Real Vallecano. All right. So, sports stories on the back page of the Chronicle newspaper. Let's bring you the Daily Guide. What's the Daily Guide saying this morning? Agrada dollar gift. Mahama clears Sami Gyamfi. Daily Guide. Agrada dollar gift. Mahama clears Sami Gyamfi. Gold smuggling crackdown. 3 deported, 3 to stand trial. Gold smuggling crackdown. 3 deported, 3 to stand trial. And then you have drug lord arrested at Abuabo. Drug lord arrested at Abuabo. Youth for Action, protest unemployment and layoffs. Youth for Action, protest unemployment and layoffs. And then when you go to the top right-hand corner, it says, man gets life for AG pastor's murder. Recall that somewhere in 2018, a pastor of the Assemblies of God Church in Tema was murdered gruesomely. And today, Daily Guide is reporting that a man who stood trial for the murder of this Assemblies of God pastor has been sentenced to life in prison. So that's the front page of the Daily Guide newspaper. I'll bring you stories from the Inquisitor now. The Inquisitor says, celebrating 5 years of integrity, SML unveils unique plans. New revenue assurance for mining and upstream oil segment. Celebrating 5 years of integrity, SML unveils unique plans, new revenue assurance for mining, upstream oil segment. Then you have GNCCI, Gold Board confer for economic collaboration. GNCCI, that's the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and Gold Board confer for economic collaboration. Then you also have the Gold Board story here that says Gold Board national security bust foreigners attempting to smuggle gold. Gold Board national security bust foreigners attempting to smuggle gold. And then the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, is pictured here saying that Ghana open for new oil investment. Ghana open for new oil investment. That's the Inquisitor newspaper. Let's take a look at Daybreak. Daybreak newspaper says NPP bans internal campaigns. NPP bans internal campaigns. GRA dismisses claims of SML mandate expansion. GRA, Ghana Revenue Authority, dismisses claims of SML mandate expansion. GAF, that's the Ghana Armed Forces, probes 70 armored vehicles purchase. Upon Pepra, Amwama, Ando, others to testify. GAF probes 70 armored vehicles purchase. Upon Pepra, Amwama, Ando, others to testify. And then there's as the feature that's coming up in the newspaper. Eventually, when it does come out, we'll get the details from the Daybreak newspaper. Let's look at some stories from the economic front, the business front, and I'll take you to the Business and Financial Times, BNFT. And a big story on there says COPEC flags mammoth losses in upstream sector. COPEC flags mammoth losses in upstream sector. Says we produce 100,000 barrels, report 60,000, translating into 350 million US dollars, with 450 million US dollars annual losses, edges SML Ghana's real-time monitoring system. Quite an interesting one. Get the details in the BNFT. All right. BOG's DPI project to shape Africa's future payments blueprint. BOG's DPI project to shape Africa's future payments blueprint. Republic Bank honored for Ashanti region's economic development. You have SSA central banks targets lower remittance cost. SSA central banks targets lower remittance cost. FAJ president calls for targeted policy to support export and agri-business. FAJ president calls for targeted policy to support export and agri-business. And then there's a feature on credit scoring evolution amid AI and big data revolution. That's the Business and Financial Times. Now I'm going to take you online real quick and take you to channel1news.com. Let's see what stories are on the web portal. They are leading with the removal or suspension of the Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo. And the story says, committee opens hearings today over CJ removal petitions. Committee opens hearings today over CJ removal petitions. Then you have CJ removal plot alarming and reckless. That's the Member of Parliament for Efia speaking. He says CJ removal plot alarming and reckless. Mahama's decision to pardon Sammy Gyamfi justifiable. This is Edem Senanu speaking. He says Mahama's decision to pardon Sammy Gyamfi justifiable. City appreciation impressive. Government doing something right. This is Fabag speaking. That's the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, Fabag, speaking there. Agrada celebrates as Mahama clears Sammy Gyamfi over dollar gift. Agrada celebrates as Mahama clears Sammy Gyamfi over dollar gift. Then you have, we are hopeful prices will change within 60 days. We're hopeful prices will change within 60 days. That's the Fabag speaking. GSS must set indicative prices to curb distortions. Cuts International speaking. GSS must set indicative prices to cut or to curb distortions. This is Cuts International speaking there. Then you have the dollar gift issue. Shraj petition to probe Sammy Gyamfi withdrawn. We understand that the private individual who petitioned the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, Shraj, to investigate his what he believes was a display of wealth, an open display of wealth. This gentleman has withdrawn that petition to Shraj. Shraj is yet to officially respond, but the gentleman, as of yesterday, had alleged threats to his life. We do not know if that is the reason for the withdrawal of the petition, but so far that's the breakdown of that story. What we do know is that that petition has been withdrawn. All right. On the same matter, dollar gift issue, apology is not remedy for breach of Foreign Exchange Act. This is Tia Abdul Kabiru, Member of Parliament for Waliwali speaking. He says the apology is not a remedy for breach of Foreign Exchange Act. Okay. Sammy Gyamfi's dollar gift, not a breach of code of conduct. That's the Minister in charge of Government Communications, Felix Kwakye Ofosu, speaking there. And again, he's captured here saying that the apology and caution is enough. Kwakye Ofosu, apology and caution enough. NPP bans early campaigning ahead of internal polls. NPP bans early campaigning ahead of internal polls. Let me now take you to citynewsroom.com. Citynewsroom.com, also leading with that CJ story, and says committee probing petitions against suspended CJ begins hearings today. Committee probing petitions against suspended CJ begins hearings today. Assault on firefighters will lead to prosecution. That is the Minister for the Interior, Alhaji Mubarak Muntaka Mohammed, speaking there. And he is warning that assault on firefighters will lead to prosecution. Gutta president calls for urgent VAT reform to reduce business costs. Gutta president calls for urgent VAT reform to reduce business costs. Proposed U.S. remittance tax could impact Ghanaian families and economy. Proposed U.S. remittance tax could impact Ghanaian families and economy. City gains driven by multiple factors, not just gold. That's Dr. Atuahene speaking there. He says the gains made by the CD is driven by multiple factors, not just gold. When you go into politics, the NPP is here, warning members against early internal campaigning. NPP warns members against early internal campaigning. On the issue of the conduct of public officers or public office holders, Adam Senanu is here telling the government to fast-track implementation of conduct of public officers bill. Fast-track implementation of conduct of public officers bill. Adam Senanu tells government. On the issue of the dollar gift, presidency explains decision to pardon Sammy Gyamfi. We know that the minister in charge of government communications spoke yesterday about same where he announced the president's decision to pardon the acting CEO of the Ghana Gold Board, Sammy Gyamfi. And then you have that story regarding the petition to Shraj, and it says private citizen withdraws Shraj petition to probe Sammy Gyamfi's dollar gift. Private citizen withdraws petition to Shraj to probe Sammy Gyamfi's dollar gift. 60-day price adjustment window unfair to consumers. This is CATS International speaking, saying that 60-day price adjustment window unfair to consumers. Yesterday, we know that the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ofosu-Adjare, met with some business leaders, some trade associations, including the Ghana Union of Traders Association, the Association of Ghana Industries, the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, FABAG. And out of that meeting, although the minister conceded that government cannot impose price reduction on traders due to the liberalized system that we operate, there was an agreement for a 60-day window after which prices of products or goods on the market are expected to drop. Now, all this is owing to the appreciation of the cedi against especially the major trading currency, the US dollar. We know that the cedi has gained some strength against the dollar. And yesterday, there was a meeting due to, of course, public uproar against the stagnation of prices, irrespective of the strength gained by the cedi. And so out of that meeting, the decision or the agreement was that a 60-day window, which will obviously translate into 2 months, be given for prices to drop. But CATS International is not too enthused or not too excited about this. And so they are saying that this 60-day window is unfair to consumers. We'll be getting into that story and bringing you some perspectives regarding same. All right. Now, the Member of Parliament for Wale Wale is here again. He's captured here saying that Mahama has shown code of conduct is mere paper. Mahama has shown code of conduct is mere paper. All right, so go on to citynewsroom.com as well as channel1news.com, and you can get details of these stories and several others. You can go into lifestyle stories, entertainment stories, business stories, sports stories, general news, as well as politics, and a host of several others on channel1news.com as well as citynewsroom.com. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel One Television. We'll take a break here. When we come back, we'll begin the news review segment. Our guest will be seated and we'll look at the various perspectives to the topical issues that have made the rounds in the news cycle today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Calling all farmers, agribusinesses and innovators, this is your chance to shine. Channel One TV invites you to exhibit at AgriFair 2025, one of Ghana's largest agricultural exhibitions. From Friday 20th to Sunday the 22nd of June, the A4 Sutherland Children's Park in Accra will come alive with the very best from Ghana's agribusiness sector. Are you a farmer with fresh produce of any kind? Be it crops, livestock or poultry, fisheries or aquaculture, or you're a supplier of agro inputs and processing machinery? This is your platform to connect with the world. AgriFair 2025 is more than an exhibition. Showcase your fresh produce, share your expertise and experience, and grow your business. So, to all farmers with fresh produce, livestock or poultry, fisheries or aquaculture products, come, sell, network, and expand your business. AgriFair 2025, where culture meets innovation. Register now to secure your spot. Call us on 0205 973 973. Come one, come all. Enjoy the freshest farm produce at unbeatable prices. And treat yourself to sizzling kebabs made from beef, mutton, pork, chicken, and more. Great taste, great value. Don't miss out. The AgriFair 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 City FM and is proudly sponsored by Exim Bank, Legacy Crop Improvement Center, and Development Bank Ghana. On Footprints this Friday, veteran actor and playwright David Donto tells us his story about his educational journey, his love for theater arts, and playwriting.
The name Donto itself is a corrupted form of Odowonto. The whites could not pronounce the Odowonto, so they decided to shorten it to Donto.
Wow.
And that is how it got stuck. About 10-15 minutes, nothing was happening. Then, all of a sudden, someone opened the door. And then you popped the head out, and that was Kwame Nkrumah. Because I had seen him earlier in Cape Coast, when he came there with the Duchess of Kent, you know. So as soon as I saw him, I said, that must be Kwame Nkrumah. Then he walked straight towards me. And, you know, playfully said, hey, I will help Adwa. He was speaking fancy.
Yeah.
So we hear Papa. Who is your father? I mentioned the name. And, oh, Mr. Don't know about you. Say, school is your data. So we started
With Keteke.
Keteke. And the very first 2 episodes, I was Ghana Man. Okay, the title was Ghana Man because the story was about the typical Ghanaian worker whose salary will never take him home.
Yeah.
So he has to do sundown to survive. And my mother was selling kinky at the railway station. So station master, who was then the station master of the railway station,
Yeah.
I'll go to him and, you know, ask him if he could help me out. I said, okay. Come on, I'm not talking about it. Oh, it's a Kokrana, yeah, Bisobia, there, my mother.
Oh, okay.
Then the name Mama Dokun got stuck on her.
Footprints airs every Friday at 7 p.m. with a repeat on Sunday at 4 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.
Looking for the latest buzz in Ghana's entertainment world? Welcome to Ghana Weekend, your ultimate destination for all things creativity and entertainment.
Stay in the loop with breaking news, exclusive interviews, and then insider stories from your favorite creatives and stars. From music, movies, fashion and art, lifestyle and culture, Ghana Weekend brings it all together. Get a daily dose of entertainment, discover new talent, and never miss out on the creativity that defines our vibrant culture.
Stay connected with us across all platforms. Follow us on Instagram with the handle Ghana Weekend, on X Ghana Weekend, on TikTok Ghana Weekend, at Ghana Weekend TV on YouTube for the latest in entertainment, travel, and everything Ghana. Don't miss out. Join the Ghana Weekend family today. Ghana Weekend, where entertainment meets creativity. Visit GhanaWeekend.com now.
Hello again. Thank you for staying with us. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 Television, and I am Nanatufo Boateng. It's time to bring you the news review segment where we get to a conversation around the various topical issues. My guests are here seated. I'll do a quick introduction, say good morning to them, and then we get straight into it. To my immediate right is a member of the New Patriotic Party. He's a senior lecturer at the Political Science Department of the University of Ghana, in the person of Dr. Joshua Jebuntie Zato. Doc, Good morning.
Good morning, boss.
Good
How
to
are
have
doing?
you. Good to see you again.
Thank you,
Right.
thank you.
And next to him, you have the editor of the News Center newspaper, newscenter.com, Elvis Darko. Elvis, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you. Good to have you. Right. So, for about a week now, we've been looking at this issue of a dollar gift saga, where the acting CEO of the Ghana Gold Board, Sammy Gyamfi, is seen in a viral video gifting an evangelist, Nana Grada, some money, which of course is in US dollars. There was a whole controversy surrounding this matter. The gentleman involved subsequently publicly apologized, and we're hoping to hear from the president following his invitation by the chief of staff to the presidency. Yesterday, the minister in charge of government communications, Phyllis Kwakye Ofosu, put it out there that the apology was enough and that Mr. Sammy Gyamfi had been pardoned by the president, John Dramani Mahama. Doc, I'll start with you. Was this expected?
Good morning to you and good morning to all your listeners. No matter how thick your lenses are, no matter how hard you looked at this where you stood, there is absolutely nobody this morning in this country who will say, I'm surprised by this decision. Nobody.
You are not?
If you read the political lips and if you see whom the person is, nobody is saying, oh, I'm surprised that His Excellency the President just took the apology of this gentleman and let it go. Because this gentleman is so big, so important to the NDC, that there's absolutely nobody in the NDC who has the balls or who will have the balls to go out and tell the president, fire Sammy Gyamfi. That doesn't exist. There's nobody in the NDC who has the stature and the strength and the power of Honorable Sammy Gyamfi to go and tell the president, fire him. Nobody can do that. That is why you realize that when this happened, almost every single government appointee fell in line. They were all whipped into line. In fact, literally, some of them were on air adding their support, offering their support to gentlemen. But you have to go back and ask yourself, why is this a problem? Essentially because when His Excellency the President came into power, he wanted to establish that he was different from the former president and the former government. He wanted to establish that he's going to take issues of ethics, issues of morality, issues of governance very important. He wanted to say that these things are, and that there's a new government in town, and that the reset he talked about was still going to include issues like this. And that was why he launched the Code of Conduct. Code of conducts are by nature discretionary. They're not legal, they're not binding. It's not like you say, oh, you don't know. And they are supposed to serve as a guide and become like more of a moral compass. Codes of conduct happen in difficult situations. It's supposed to happen in a difficult situation. That's when we say it is precisely because it is difficult, it is precisely because you have to use judgment that code of conduct can. Because if it's law, the law can be right or wrong, left or right. Do not matter, you matter, fine. But once it has to do with something that has to do with morals, ethics, that is what it is. That is why you realize that almost every profession that has to do with ethics, morality, sometimes some put you in difficult situations, they have codes of conduct.
Right.
That is why it exists. So you are going to now ask yourself, there's this morning, no single civil society organization is happy with this decision. No.
But are we able to establish specifically which clause in the code of conduct was breached?
You are coming there. It is not, you have to take the code of conduct as a complete document. What is the value of that code of conduct? What does it seek to achieve? It seeks to force or compel government employees to behave in a certain way, in a way that is not disgusting, in a way that is not extravagant, in a way that complies with the values of the president.
So at this point, we are speaking to the spirit of the code
Yes,
of
the
conduct,
spirit.
not the letter of
You
it.
can even, you can do both, but let's talk to the spirit of it. Because you could ask yourself, there are laws in Ghana against some of these things. Why the need for a code of conduct? Why the need for it? You are doing that because you are saying that beyond the law, or beyond what is legal, there are certain things that are right or wrong. There's certain behavior that you want to, as a president, you want to exude. And you want to say that if you want to continue to work for me, if you want to employ you, these are the standards that I need. It need not be legal, it need not be illegal. But I want you to behave like this because that is what I should, that's what I stand for. And when somebody directly looks at that code of conduct and poo-hoos on it, when somebody looks at that code of conduct and throws it in the dustbin, when somebody acts or inactions that contravenes that, And then you say your apology is okay. Then the question I ask is, today is Mr. Jamfi's son. You are saying it's okay. Tomorrow, it will not be Mr. Jamfi's son, it will be Mr. Kwame's son. It will be Mr. Baton's son. Tomorrow, it will be Mr. Joa's son. What would you do? And you must understand, precisely because the code of conduct and precisely it has to do with values, you are not going to find, it's not going to be straightforward. If it's straightforward, it becomes a legal issue. That one day you don't have to have discretion.
Right.
So what you've then seen as the president is increasingly, first of all, remember, there were employees of his who refused to declare their assets. What did you tell them? Go, say no more and come back. So far, as I said, we have not had an update